Welcome to this edition of ONME Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Linus Najib.
And we are here at the Fresno Victorian West Neighborhood Park on Clinton and Brawley. So this Victoria Park is where we always walk. We just never really knew the name of it. I didn't know it had like an official name. I always call it the Clinton and Brawley Park.
Yeah, I really enjoy when I walk around this particular park right here because the breeze is nice. And
the breeze is nice right now.
It's nice right now. Sometimes it get a little hot.
Wait till July, August,
but
early September.
But the lighting at night, you know, you just go in and get a nice full mile walk without being bothered.
And it is a great neighborhood park, and people are probably wondering, why are we filming today at a park? You'll probably notice the whiteout areas that are behind us and also some of the shots that we have taken. But obviously, the Fresno is conserving if we look at the no frown on brown. So do not come to this park and frown on the brown because they are trying to conserve water. Linus, I didn't realize that the Water Division pumps nearly 125 million gallons per day.
Yes, I didn't know either that much. That is a lot of water.
It's almost too much water, though.
Too much.
Too much. And so what are some other startling facts or ways that we can conserve?
Well, one of the ways that we can definitely conserve is having a timer, a shower timer on your shower. We mentioned last time on the show that they have toilets and get the newer toilets because the older toilets takes between 3.5 and 5 gallons, even to 7 gallons of water. So sometimes replacing the fixtures on the toilet or just simply get a new upgraded toilet.
Okay, so I've got this gallon. People know what a gallon is. So what is this?
This is not really a gallon. This is like 2.5 liters approximately.
We always okay.
And let's look at this 2.5 liters of water, approximately 2.5 liters. It would take, just to fill up a bathtub, 120 of these filled up.
Okay.
To fill up one bathtub.
People would think that you're conserving if you're taking a bath because you're putting all the water in one place versus letting it all run down the drain in a long 20-minute shower.
Well, that fact is wrong. You have it's ways that you can conserve better by taking showers, and best time showers.
Okay. So what am I knowing about this 5-gallon piece here?
Oh,
that's
okay.
5 gallons, right?
Yeah, this is 5 gallons.
So that's when in one flush of a toilet for the older toilets.
Yes, I'd say for the older toilets, it's about one flush, and maybe you might need a little bit more than this just to flush one toilet.
So if you're doing that 10 times a day, that's a lot of flushes. You're talking
that's about 50
gallons per person.
50 gallons per person.
Okay, so a person that's trying to be on a diet and drinking a lot of water, this would be a bad situation for the city of Fresno.
That's correct.
And remember, Governor Brown is trying to reduce it by 25%. So we all can help conserve. Shorten those showers. If it's 8 minutes, start off by, I call weaning people off. You know, you got to get them used to it. Go down to 7, and then the following week go down to 6. And the following week maybe go down to 5 until you can break those showers down. Especially your teenagers, please tell them those 20-minute shower days are over. Let them break it down to at least 5 to 8 minutes. Bang on that door and get them out of that shower. That's what we get to do.
Well, they have some kind of a timer. One person mentioned on Twitter about this particular timer is just put a spider in the tub, and that is your timer to get off that tub.
That's a great timer. That'd be a great timer for me. Put a spider. So other stories that we want to be able to talk about on today's show has to do with Mayor Ashley Swearengin announcing that it's getting nationwide attention about the homelessness numbers that have gone down by about 40% just in Fresno alone. So we want to be able to talk about that. We also have the state of education that Trustee Eric Payne, State Center Community College District board trustee, and also Cal Johnson attended along with some community members who had some concerns about the Southwest Fresno that was going to be moved. So that was one of the issues. But again, Trustee Eric Payne was talking more in general, you know, about some of those things that are going to be happening for the year, but that seemed to dominate the conversation. So we want to be able to discuss that. And we also want to be able to talk about on Valley Black Talk Radio, and we're talking about the issue of state of Black businesses in California and also Central Valley. Now we were specifically talking about organizations that are either helping or not helping. Remember, we said we were going to pinpoint those organizations and get to the bottom of these concerns and issues. So you hear quite a bit of dialogue from myself, Joel Riversmith, and Mel Sanders just in those parts alone. And those are some of the trending topics that we're going to be talking about on today's show. So with no further ado, I want to talk about the first topic, which is dealing with the homelessness in Fresno. Now, when you walk outside of our coffee shop, which is near between downtown Fresno and also in between the Tower District, it's hard to see that homelessness numbers have dropped.
Well, it's very hard, especially when you're looking outside your window and you see a person with a shopping cart with all his home in the shopping cart and coming by there every day. And then you walk just not too far from our place of business and you see them lying in the streets or with their food on the side and everything else. So it's very difficult to really see the real change of it because in a way it's like an eyesore.
Eyesore, but I'm more concerned about the well-being and the health and the mental health of some of these individuals that we run across on a daily basis.
Yes.
I'm wondering if that is we do have a number of organizations that are stepping in to stop the homelessness and have different services, but at the same time, what can be done about these individuals that we see every day that seem to have some deeper issues than just homelessness. So Mayor Ashley Swearingen did announce, though, the 2015 point time report. As we look at that on the screen, there's a chart, and it shows a dramatic decrease in the number of homelessness in Fresno, that it dropped by 40% since last year in the city of Fresno. Now, the Fresno-Madera County area had a 34% decrease from January 2014 to January 2015. And so we're also looking at the different departments that are helping. They talk about the Fresno Police Department, Homeless Task Force, the new map point at the POV, which breaks down barriers for people needing services. And the agencies that are reporting are also helping with these services, of course, are the City of Fresno with their different programs, the Housing Authority, the Fresno County Department of Behavioral Health, the Veterans Administration, Marjorie Mason Center, and the Pavarella House. And those are just some of the organizations that are taking steps to help service the homeless. And we know we had a lot of homeless kids, a lot of homeless students.
Yes, I remember when I was teaching in Oakland, California, and I remember this student was very vibrant and very sharp. And then all of a sudden, it dropped, and she was very aggressive. Later found out, to make the long story short, was she was sleeping on a bus. Going from Oakland to Richmond every day.
And those are hopefully we start to look at those numbers of students and kids that is affecting when we're looking at homelessness. And now the City of Fresno has been invited for the White House to take part in the 25 Cities initiative to end chronic and veterans homelessness by the end of 2015. We'll see how far they get. We'll see how far we can get. But I know we have a lot of work to do in the city, especially with the high unemployment rates. You are watching ONME Sunday Mornings. We're going to take a short break and be right back with you to talk about the state of education that was put on by Trustee Board Member Eric Payne and also Cal Johnson from Fresno Unified School District Board Member. We'll be right back.
To meet state-mandated water cuts during this drought, we all need to use less water.
Start by knowing your 2 outdoor watering days. Odd addresses on Tuesday and Saturday, and evens on Wednesday and Sunday.
Then, cut your watering times in half. And if you see problems with city sprinklers, let us know.
We're all in this together, and together is the only way we can meet our goal.
So this summer, don't frown on brown, because a brown lawn is a responsible lawn.
A message from the City of Fresno.
Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated of the San Joaquin Valley Alumni Chapter present the 22nd African American High School Recognition Ceremony 2015. So join us on Sunday, June 7th, as we celebrate from 3 to 5 p.m. students who are ready to take the next step. Admission is free and will be at the Fresno State Satellite Student Union. The cost for participants who would like their kente cloth is $15. Speaker includes Teresa Price, founder and executive director of National College Resource Foundation. For application and information on sponsorship or how your participant can be involved in this event for the 2015 High School Recognition Ceremony, call Kimberly Lewis at 559-246-0494 or Lisa Nichols at 559-577-9793. It takes a village to raise a child. Welcome back. You're watching ONME Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Linus Najib.
We want to take a clip and look at the state of education, which we've heard of has been the first that's ever been done. And this was spearheaded by State Center Community College District Board Trustee Eric Payne. who had some concerns, not only in his district, but also overall. So I know that Washington Union, the specific board members, the 2 African Americans that sit on that board, were invited. We didn't see them there at the event, but we also had Cal Johnson, who sits on the board for the Fresno Unified School District. And then you had a number of community members who were there and invited to be able to engage in conversation. And this was somewhat of a town hall. I always envision a town hall being maybe more condensed to the key topics so that people can hash that out. But again, this is the first time that this has been done, so we have to look at that. And this is something that can be splintered off into other subjects with these particular leaders of the community, education leaders.
Yes, I was noticing when I was watching Cal Johnson in particular, he was looking at the move from Southwest Fresno, I believe, to the next location that would create jobs, that would have construction workers working.
Moving from the Southwest, because remember,
yes.
Okay.
Moving from that one location to the other location, and how he's looking at the benefits from that.
Okay.
From that move, meaning jobs and construction workers, et cetera, and so forth. So he was trying to go into some of the positive parts of that move, from my understanding.
Well, we're going to take a look at this excerpt. It's a few minutes long, and then we also want to give you some of the community feedback of some people that are not happy about the move. So let's take a quick look at this excerpt right now.
Right now, in West Fresno, there is a Career Technical Education Center, and it has center designation in which, what does that mean? That means that we receive so many funds for each student that is allowed, that is enrolled in one of those career technical education programs. And if in fact we move those, if we shut that building down and relocate those students and services to another facility, West Fresno will then lose its designation as a center. So even in fact, with this new facility, it will not be a center. So it will lose its designation as a center. And so those are a couple of things that are slightly concerning in how the board will seek to mitigate some of these issues. If in fact, another big issue will be the types of programs that we decide to offer at this facility.
We need to have something that is more significant, because West Fresno, as it relates to the State Center Community College District, has always been a stepchild. All you have to do is go look at Northeast Fresno at the International Center, see what that looks like. It was like a Taj Mahal. And we believe that West Fresno deserves the same kind of thing. And when we think in terms of, and all the sales, it could be on television, what we deal with here in the city of Fresno as it relates to education and economy, we deal with institutional racism. And we have not gotten out of that. And I recall a gentleman saying that we could shake hands, and I made the comment that we shake hands with people for years in West Fresno, and we always get kicked in the butt. And when you get used to getting kicked in the butt, sometimes you have to stand up. Martin Luther King said, if you straighten up your back, then no one's your right. And that is one of the things that we have to do. And I know the leadership of State Center, because I worked at State Center for some 31 years, and I know the kinds of games that they play at the leadership level. And it's all about not doing what they...
We just got a chance, Linus, to look at the excerpt. People were concerned, and again, Trustee Eric Payne did address those along with Cal Johnson. And you had Sabrina Kelly, who was one of the board members there, who talked with John Leal, who's again the board trustee for State Center Community College District for the Southeast area. And the comments that were made after the meeting is, I think, what was most upsetting for her. And I don't know if you got a feel for that. I don't think people got a feel for that. It's always the after meeting discussion where things seem to happen, right?
Well, a lot of people in this area don't want that kind of change, because opportunity and businesses and employment is coming out of that particular area, and that's more damaging then more helpful. So that was more or less their concern. That's why you have a number of people that was there in the audience addressing those concerns.
And this was a day before the State Center Community College Board, the last meeting, I think, before summer hits. And the problem was the FCC Career and Technical Center was moving from Southwest Fresno to East Fresno. And this was not in the master plan. This was not a priority addendum. And these were some of the concerns of the community. So you had Sabrina Kelly. Again, this is all based on the letter she wrote to Honorable Oliver Baines, City of Fresno District 3 representative and president of the council. And she said that she was talking with Trustee John Leal to understand his priorities and thoughts about the reallocation of educational assets from Southwest Fresno to East Fresno. And so when she commented on Southwest Fresno to East Fresno in regards to the reallocation of public resources, she said that the comments he said his response was, "Are you asking me if I think this is a numbers game? Look, Hispanics have been falling behind blacks for too long. It's our turn!" Exclamation point is what she put. And people can see that on the screen. This is not me saying that. This is the letter.
That's very bold.
To Oliver Baines. Again, Sabrina Kelly was concerned. And so she left the conversation reeling with the thought that after years of civic disinvestment in West Fresno, more would follow, and the primary reason would be personal biases. And that's from a concerned community member who was just asking, I think, Trustee John Leal about his true opinion and trying to have an understanding of why that particular center had to move. I can understand the question.
Well, they saying that they following behind blacks, and that is a very harsh statement, in my opinion.
It's pretty harsh.
To say that. That's a wow. I say a wow.
That's a pretty wow. And so again, if you do have concerns, you can always contact your State Center Community College local representative. And let me give you those names: Ron Nishinaka, Bobby Kahn, Eric Payne, John Leal, Miguel Arias, Pat Patterson, and Richard Caglia. And I think Miguel Arias was there for a few minutes and then he left. But again, they talked about how the West Fresno Education, we know, according to the African American Leadership Council that Oliver Baines put together, that some of those concerns were about the West Fresno Education Roundtable was a failed attempt that didn't produce any outcome. And so hopefully not using that as a basis of moving this facility from the Southwest Fresno to Southeast Fresno. We hope that that wasn't the reason for that. But the key is that there's no mention of the West Fresno facility as a priority.
Well, one of the things that they did mention was they didn't have enough numbers. The numbers wasn't matching up to the enrolled people to sustain that building.
Right.
And that's a legitimate excuse, in my opinion. But they also got to look at what is the involvement in the community.
And that's the problem that they're saying, that the State Center Community College District hasn't provided enough resources to outreach to the students and to outreach to the parents for adult education, because there is a need. But have they outreached to that community?
I say no, because we are one of the outlets, and I come to them all the time, and they
could have easily used us as an outlet.
They have not reached out to us, and we're the only African American media around. So I know that absolutely failed.
And we know that Governor Brown has provided a lot of tax dollars for implementation of adult education. And there was a promised previous bond measure that was not kept. And this would have been extra funding to be able to make sure the Southwest Fresno community is engaged. So that's why the community was concerned. But as we talk about the State Center Community College District and we're looking at the meeting where the communities did have the concern, I think we want to really address the fact that facilities that are supposed to be used for these constituents in that area, they have no knowledge of it. They have no understanding that there's even a facility that can help them to get to the next level, to help them reach a different income bracket and income level. As we know, as we educate African American males and as we educate those adults that are in that community, we know that it upgrades all of the community. And those are the leading thoughts.
Well, they don't understand the media and how it works and how effective it works to get those outreach, to make sure the people in the community that they service get the needs that are met for that particular community.
And we'll be keeping on top of this story. as it continues, because it's not over yet. This is just the beginning. We'll be digging deeper to find out more information and insight that we can give you. After the break, we're going to be playing that Valley Black Talk radio excerpt, talking a little bit about businesses and leadership in the community and the organizations that should be helping those businesses and communities. You're watching ONME Sunday Mornings. We'll be right back.
To meet state-mandated water cuts during this drought, we all need to use less water.
Start by knowing your 2 outdoor watering days. Odd addresses on Tuesday and Saturday, and evens on Wednesday and Sunday.
Then, cut your watering times in half. And if you see problems with city sprinklers, let us know.
We're all in this together, and together is the only way we can meet our goal.
So this summer, don't frown on brown, because a brown lawn is a responsible lawn.
A message from the City of Fresno.
Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated of the San Joaquin Valley Alumni Chapter present the 22nd African American High School Recognition Ceremony 2015. So join us on Sunday, June 7th, as we celebrate from 3 to 5 p.m. students who are ready to take the next step. Admission is free and will be at the Fresno State Satellite Student Union. The cost for participants who would like their kente cloth is $15. Speaker includes Teresa Price, founder and executive director of National College Resource Foundation. For application and information on sponsorship or how your participant can be involved in this event for the 2015 High School Recognition Ceremony, call Kimberly Lewis at 559-246-0494 or Lisa Nichols at 559-577-9793. It takes a village to raise a child. Welcome back to ONME Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Lennis Najib.
And we were just going to be wrapping up with the Valley Black Talk radio segment in this particular excerpt. We're, again, still talking about the state of black businesses in the state of California and also in Central Valley. This time we decided to talk about, or start talking about, those organizations that could be helping black businesses and also could be helping individuals. And so some talking points with myself, Jewel Riversmith, and Mel Sanders. Let's take a look at that excerpt and then have some commentary.
Very often we get treated as if we're in front, right? Well, they got affirmative action. They got small business loans they can get that we can't get. And they go on and on and on about all the so-called perks that we as an underdeveloped community supposedly have. And here is a perfect example. Okay, so we have this CDFI that you people think we're getting all this money from for our small businesses, and we're not getting a dime.
Not a dirty dime.
Appear to be in front. Appear.
So when people say, that funding was there for you guys, I don't understand why you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Well, if you talk to the business development manager, it doesn't sound like we were going to get it anyway, because it sounds like that funding is either earmarked for someone else or some other underserved community.
Or we don't even know about it.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. We don't know about it.
Yeah.
Most people do not know about it.
And frankly, I listen, I mean, this is my black media, right? This is my only black media, except for the California Advocate.
Right.
And a couple of papers we get at the home church, right? Other than that, I'm listening to major market media. I'm listening to the radio. I'm not hearing their ads anywhere.
Right.
So where do they spend their advertising money?
Well, not with black media. I can confirm
do
that.
they even spend it with the non-black media?
Yeah,
they do.
You look at the
Yes,
Hispanic
they do.
papers, you look at the Asian paper, yeah, you'll see them in there.
Oh, the paper. Oh, well, okay, I can hear. I'm certainly not going to try to read another language.
Right. And so I'm looking at, they do have their 2013 annual report, and I don't know if that would be where we would see
Look at the bottom line. It tells you what that grand figure is for their annual.
Okay, it says we've provided 742 hours of technical assistance, over 519 activities enrollment, 45 loans to low and moderate income businesses and communities. Budget was $5.7 million.
Okay, and they did 45 loans
with $5 million
in income business communities totaling $1.9 million.
So that's 4-something million.
And
unaccounted 4.9 something million.
And then projects Okay, so we just got a chance to look at that commentary between myself, Mel Sanders, and Joel Riversmith, having concerns about leadership again, in the African American community, not only what it takes to be a leader, but also the organizations that should be stepping up. And we're hoping that, we know that the EOC has quite a bit of different programs, and also the CDFI. Those are the two things that we got a chance to talk about and focus on.
Mm-hmm.
And people probably don't know about either of them, right?
Well, when they say the EOC and what they do in CDFI, they more or less focus it on loans to help in more or less underserved community. And right now, a lot of people don't know that. They don't have the outreach. I know they haven't outreach with us. But
what we want to do is focus on CDFI, their budget. We know that $5.7 million was their budget as far as its previous for the 2015 year. And that's supposed to be to give out loans. But if people don't know about the program, they just don't know. So this is supposed to be for small businesses, particularly minority-owned businesses that cannot get loans at a traditional bank.
Yes,
so when we talk about what CDFI does in their budget, those are the concerns, to find out how they are reaching out to these constituents, how they are making sure they service these underserved communities. Now, it doesn't just mean African American, doesn't just mean Hispanic or Hmong, it also means women. And also there are a category for the white males as well. So I know that the 2013 report, because the 2014, 2015 are not out yet, but in the 2014 report, you had 22%, for instance, for women. And it didn't say women of color, just women in general. And then you had a 35% for Hispanic, and maybe about a very low percent, about 8% for African Americans, or a little bit less as far as in funding. But we're going to look at that 2014-2015 report when that comes out to find out more information.
Yes, that's good that we have the statistics that let us know where we are being affected in those statistics in our community, and where they need to focus some of those outreach dollars to get those numbers up for the African American community.
And EOC is quite a large board, and I think we went over the extent of the board, what the EOC is supposed to be doing, and people got a chance to look at that in the Valley Black Talk Radio segment. And you can always go to these past segments that air on Valley Black Talk Radio by going to vbtradio.org, and that way you can listen to the entire broadcast, since of course we don't have time on this half-an-hour program to go in detail about that. Well, we hope you enjoyed this edition of ONME Sunday Mornings. It was a lot of information we tried to jam-pack in that 30 minutes. So much. And so we hope that during the week you think about these things and do your own research. We always want to make sure people are on the up and up on their own. And so we hope that you have a great week, and we will see you next week.